Good morning, students. Today we shall learn about the measurement of mass and time. Measurement of mass and time. You see, mass is the basic property of the matter. How do you define mass? You all know that matter content of the body is called as mass, or amount of substance present in the body is called as mass. Amount of substance present in the body is called mass. And we know SI unit of mass. What is SI unit of mass? Kilogram. In short, it is denoted by kg. The prototypes of such kilogram are available in all the international laboratories, which was prescribed by International Weights and Measures Department. International Weights and Measures, which is actually at Sèvres near France. It is a platinum iridium alloy. It is a cylinder of platinum iridium alloy which is having a weight of 1 kilogram, mass of 1 kilogram. Such prototype is available in all the laboratories of all the countries, international laboratories of all the countries. In our country, it is available in National Physical Laboratory. Prototype of 1 kg mass, which is a cylindrical shape cylinder of platinum iridium alloy. Platinum iridium alloy is at NPL, National Physical Laboratory, New Delhi. And all the prototypes that we use in market, they are all in comparison with this standard mass, that is cylinder of platinum iridium alloy, which is available at National Physical Laboratory, which is kept at a particular temperature and pressure. And now the commonly observable objects are measured in kilograms, and they are measured with the help of common balance. As you all know, the things that are measured in grocery shop and the things that are available in the vegetable market, they are all measured with the help of a beam balance or a common balance. In laboratories, the fine masses of the powder and other samples are measured with physical balance. And nowadays electronic balances are also available. So for the measurement of small particles, for the measurement of masses of the atoms, kilogram is very inconvenient unit. So we use a unified mass unit. Unified mass unit is used to measure atomic masses or molecular masses. What is one unified unit? What is one unified mass unit? It is also called as atomic mass unit or one unified mass unit. one unified mass unit. It is denoted by 1 U. 1 U is equal to 1/12 of mass of C12 isotope. 1/12 of mass of C12 atom, C12 isotope. That gives us one unified mass, which is equal to 1.6605 into 10 to the power of minus 27 kilogram. This is taken as one unified mass. Later on, while you are studying the nuclear particles like mass of proton, mass of neutrons, and so on, nuclear mass of nucleons, there we will be using these units. Okay. For the measurements of extremely heavy objects, we use gravitational method. You are going to learn Newton's law of gravitation. With the help of Newton's law of gravitation, mass of heavy objects like mass of planets, mass of satellites, mass of stars can be measured with the help of a method called as gravitational method. For extremely heavy objects, such as to find the mass of planets, mass of satellites, mass of stars, we use method called as gravitational method. Gravitational method, that is using Newton's law of gravitation. Already you have learned in 9th standard Newton's law of gravitation. For measurement of extremely light objects like mass of proton, mass of electron, mass of subatomic particles, or mass of atoms, for such extremely light objects we use a method called as mass spectrograph. For the measurement of extremely light particles like atoms, ions, or subatomic particles, subatomic particles means protons, neutrons, and electrons, and ions, we use mass spectrograph. These things you are going to learn later. So this is about the measurement of mass. The masses range, the range of masses. While we are going to study the masses in detail, the ranges are from the order of 10 to the power of minus 30 kg to the order of 10 to the power of 26 kg. This is what we are going to learn, the masses. 10 to the power of 55 kg. It is not 26, 10 to the power of 55 kg. For example, mass of an electron. You may be knowing mass of an electron. It is 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 31 kg. Approximately 10 to the power of minus 30 kg. So, mass of electron is of the order of 10 to the power of minus 30 kg, and 10 to the power of 55 kg is estimated mass of the universe. Estimated mass of the observable universe. These are the various types of masses that we are going to come across while studying the masses in physics. Next we are going to learn about mass measurement of time. Okay, now let us study the measurement of time. You know that SI unit of time is second. A clock is required for the measurement of time. We all know that a clock is essential for the measurement of time. Nowadays, various types of clocks are available. So, we now use atomic standard of time, which is based on the periodic vibrations of cesium atom, which is based on the periodic vibrations produced by cesium-133 atom. This becomes the basis of atomic clock. It is also called as atomic clock or cesium clock. Just like the wristwatch that we use is based on the vibrations of the balance wheel. The vibrations of the balance wheel regulate the timing of the wristwatch. Similarly, the vibrations produced in the cords of the wristwatch, having the quartz crystal, the vibrations of the quartz crystal regulate the timing, the movement of second hand, minute hand and hour hand of quartz crystal watch, quartz watch. And these watches that we are using, which are using the battery, so the electric current produced by the battery regulates the movement of the minute hand, second hand and the hour hand. In the same way, in this atomic clock, it is also called as cesium clock. It is the vibrations of cesium-133 atom which regulate the rate of this atomic clock. Then based on this, we can define what is 1 second. 1 second is the time needed for the cesium atom, cesium-133, actually it is cesium-133 atom, to vibrate nine billion 192 million 631,770 times. That is, in 1 second, the cesium-133 atom vibrates 9,192 million 631,770 times. So, when the cesium-133 atom undergoes vibrations 9,192 million 631,770 vibrations, that corresponds to 1 second. This is how we define 1 second. So it's the most accurate clock. So throughout the world, atomic clock is being used as atomic standard of time, which is very, very accurate. Over a period of 1 year, there will be hardly 0.6 microsecond will be leading ahead, or there will be 0.6 second loss of time over a period of 1 complete year. That is the accuracy of this atomic clock. Again, within that one particular year, next time it will be set for that and it will be again used as a standard of time. So this is about measurement of time. Next we will study about the accuracy, precision and errors in the measurement. Okay, now let us learn about the errors, accuracy and precision of instruments while doing the measurements. While we are doing the measurements, we will come across errors and certain accuracy values and precision values. What is the meaning of this? Let us see. You know that measurement is the foundation of all sciences, experimental sciences and technology. Measurement is the foundation of all experimental science and technology. So whenever we do measurement with the help of a measuring instrument, there will be some uncertainty in the measured value. Uncertainty means there will be some deviation from the actual value. This difference in the actual value with the measured value, we call it as error. It is called as uncertainty. Every measured value using an instrument, using a measuring instrument, will have certain uncertainty, some amount of uncertainty. This uncertainty is the difference from the actual true value with the measured value. This is called as error. Definitely errors bound to happen. Then there are two things to be learnt about these errors. Two important terms, that is accuracy and precision. Accuracy and precision. Accuracy means whenever we do measurements and we take observations, how close are those observations with the true value? How close are those measured values with respect to the actual value? That gives us accuracy. For example, suppose width of a block. If width of a wooden block is 3.638, let us say 3.678. Width of a wooden block is 3.678 centimeter. This is the actual value. Actual width, or this is also called as true value. If we measure this with a scale, centimeter scale or meter scale, measured value with a scale, one boy measures it as 3.7 centimeter. Another boy measures it as 3.6 centimeter. Okay, this is with the help of meter scale, which is having a resolution of 0.1 centimeter. 0.1 centimeter means the least count of a centimeter scale, the least count of a meter scale is 1 millimeter. 1 millimeter means 0.1 centimeter. So 0.1 centimeter is resolution of, that is limit of resolution of meter scale. Now suppose if it is measured with another instrument which is having resolution of 0.01 centimeter. Suppose you are given with a vernier calipers. The vernier calipers can measure 1/100th of a centimeter. 1/100th of a centimeter means 1/10th of a millimeter. It can measure up to 1/10th of a millimeter. Means its resolution. Its resolution is 0.01 centimeter. If it is measured with vernier calipers, I am just giving you an example. Vernier calipers, which is having a resolution. Resolution is the limit up to measure resolution equal to 0.01 centimeter, that is 1/100th of a centimeter. Suppose the boys measure it as 3.38. One boy measures it as 3.38. Another boy measures it as 3.42. Third boy measures it as 3.41. 3.38, 3.42, 3.41. Suppose one more boy measures it as 3.39. You can just see the differences here. These are all in centimeters. Now, let us look at the true value. The exact value of the width of the block is 3.678. We are supposed to get 3.678 centimeter. But when we measured with help of a scale, meter scale, the boys are getting 3.7 centimeter and 3.6 centimeter. And with the help of another instrument like vernier calipers, which is having better resolution, 0.01, 1/100th of a centimeter as a limit of resolution, that is least count. They are measuring these values as 3.39 one particular boy, another boy 3.38, 3.42, 3.41. So, what is the meaning of accuracy? Whenever we get the measurement values, how close they are lying with the actual value, that speaks about accuracy. Now look at this. 3.7 centimeter is quite closer to 3.678, and 3.6 centimeter is another value which is also close to 3.678. So these two values are having more accuracy. Out of these two, again 3.7 is having most accurate. It is having better accuracy than 3.6. This is the meaning of accuracy. How close a measured value is with the true value speaks about accuracy. Then what about precision? Precision speaks about the limit of resolution. Here there are different instruments. In this case, their measured values are close to about 3.42, 3.40, 3.39, 3.38, 3.42, 3.41. Means their values, measured values, are lying close to some particular value, but it is not speaking about accuracy. They are not close to 3.678, the true value. These values are not close to the true value, but they are close to each other. So precision speaks about how close the measured values among each other, that speaks about precision. So these values are more precise. These values are more precise, but less accurate. They are less accuracy. Whereas these values are having more accuracy, but low precision. Quite closer to the true value, so they are more accuracy and low precision. I think you got the meaning of what is the term accuracy and what is the term precision. So accuracy speaks how close are the measured values with respect to the true value. True value means actual value. Precision means precision tells us about the resolution, tells us about the limit of resolution or resolution of the instrument. instruments. So these are less accuracy, these are having less accuracy but more precise, means they are having more precision. So their precision is more, means they are lying very close to each other. That is how close are the measured values among each other. That tells us precision. So precision depends on the resolution. The precision depends on the resolution. How precise is the instrument? So these are the things that we are going to learn, and every measured value will be having certain error, and that error can be analyzed by the knowledge of the measured values by the help of precision values and accuracy values. So in the next session we will learn about the types of errors that we are going to coming across while we are actually doing the measurements. So there are various types of errors depending on the person who is committing error, personal error, and depending on the instruments that are being used, instrumental errors. Tomorrow we are going to discuss about the types of errors and how to minimize the errors. Thank you. Have a nice day.